So here's the truth, right? 99% of the time, people are not thinking about you. 99% of the time, people are not thinking about you. People don't really care about you as much as you think they do. And I don't mean this in a negative way, or I don't mean it in a slap in the face kind of way. But the truth of the matter is that each and every one of us, like, we are all living in our own little bubbles. Like, each and every one of us is living in their own little bubbles. Everyone is too focused on themselves to actually be worried about you or the small mistake that you have done. I don't know, maybe you tripped and fell 2 days ago. Everybody already forgotten about that. Everybody already forgotten about that. You're the only person that's still there. You know what I'm saying? Human beings are the most self-critical creatures to ever exist on earth. Like, we are the most self-critical creatures to ever exist on earth. And as I'm saying this, I remember this quote that I saw somewhere. I don't even know who wrote the quote or who's the owner of the quote, but it says something like, and I'm paraphrasing, it says something like, the worst enemy you'll ever meet in this lifetime is yourself. Like, the worst enemy that you'll ever meet in this lifetime is yourself. Like, you are your worst enemy. Like, nobody actually criticizes you more than you do. Nobody talks nonsense about you more than you actually do if you just listen to that inner voice. You know what I'm saying? That we spoke about in the previous videos. You are your worst enemy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to give you an example, right? Let's say, for example, you go to the shop, right? Maybe close by, just to go grab some bread. And on that day, it's a very chilled day for you, and you go out dressed a little nonchalant. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, when you get to the shop, you meet someone that you were not expecting to see on that day. Maybe someone a little important. You know what I'm saying? And now maybe you even have a conversation with that person, and every single time you're standing with that person, you're criticizing yourself. Oh my goodness, why the hell did I leave home dressed like this? Like, what is this person gonna think of me? Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? You get the picture, right? So you are worried about your clothing, right? And maybe the other person that you're talking to, they also have a flaw, or something that they are worried about as well in that moment. Maybe they didn't comb their hair on that day. You know what I'm saying? So he or she's worried about, oh my goodness, why didn't I comb my hair today? Both of you are having a conversation. Both of you are actually worried about what the other person might actually be thinking about you. But on a serious note, both of you are worrying about yourself. You're worried about the stuff in your own little bubbles. You don't even notice what the other person is worried about. And the other person don't even notice the stuff that you're worried about, because they are so much in their own little bubbles that they're not even worried about. They don't even see those nonchalant clothes that you're wearing. To them, it's fine. It's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? They are criticizing themselves as much as you are criticizing yourself. And that's exactly what actually happens in real life. We are constantly worried about what other people think, and the stuff that you think is a big deal to you, it's nothing to the other person. It's literally nothing. You know what I'm saying? For example, that mistake that you made, maybe at work, the mispronunciation of the word, maybe in a meeting, or maybe at school, or wherever, in your friends group or whatever. And every single time you come across those people, that maybe the mistake happened when they are there, you think that everyone is still thinking about that mistake. Baby, everyone already forgotten about that mistake. Trust me, 80% of those people didn't even notice about the mistake that you are constantly thinking about. 10% of those people notice that and they don't care. You know what I'm saying? And the other 10% is another story. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Nobody cares. Nobody cares as much as you think they do. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's a high time that you free yourself from that mental prison. Like, free yourself from that mental prison. Nobody cares You know what I'm saying? If you are that kind of person that's constantly thinking what the other person are thinking, what the other person, if the other person still remembers the small mistake that you've done 2 days ago, 30 days ago, they are not there anymore. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? And not because they really just don't care. They just have their own stuff. You know, they just have their own problems to worry about. They have their own goals, their own whatever, to actually have the time to be fixated on your life and your small mistakes. They have their own, you know what I'm saying, that they're worried about. And I don't know who needed to hear this today, but that's it. That's it for the day. Okay. Free yourself from that mental prison. And I will see you guys in my next video.